3 days, and I think the biggest goal going into spring, obviously I talked to them technically about some things, turnover margin and 2 days in helmets and 1 day in pads. I've just been pleased with our mindset, the right kind of mindset, the right kind of approach. They're in charge of their attitude, they're in charge of their energy, they're in charge of their effort. And I told them after 3 days we've done a good job of that, we've got to continue. And they'll have Saturday and Sunday off, and then we'll have meetings Monday morning, and then practice Tuesday, and meetings Thursday, and practice Thursday, and then we'll break for spring break. So we'll get 5 good days. We've had 3 good ones, got to have 2 more, and then kind of reassess where we are and move from there. Questions?
Well, from the time when the new guys came in to now, are you starting to see the physical development from being in the strength program and nutrition, all that?
I think just jumping out. Jalen Nichols is a guy that's got some power and punch on the offensive line. Got a long way to go, but you seeing that portion of it. Zach Pickens is a guy that can hold point and strike and play. Those are the 2 that jump out at me just on the line of scrimmage. They're all swimming because we've thrown a lot at them, and that's our philosophy is to install a lot and see. I think that's part of our evaluation to see who can handle it and how we need to teach and coach these guys, and that's a huge assessment that you make as a coach as far as that's concerned, because that really helps you during the season. From a standpoint of changing things, schematically week to week, and you understand the guys that handle it well, and the guys we've got to spend some time with, and that's part of the assessment for us.
How are Zach and Kier? Are they both a little banged up? Or?
Yeah, no, Kier's been Zach's got a little bit of a hamstring. Kier's still coming off the ankle a little bit from the season, but they're practicing at parts of practice. We're just kind of limited their mileage a little bit right now, but certainly by mid part of spring, I expect both to be full speed.
How the quarterbacks look?
Good. 3 days, 2 in helmets, and 1 day in pads. So we play in pads. We had 1 day, but no, we've been fine. The thing that there's not a lot of procedure. There's not a lot of self-inflicted wounds. A lot of issues as far as regardless of who has been the quarterback. We've been functioning well when we get in our move the ball periods, and we haven't got to. Obviously, we ended practice today with a little third down work, and we just did 1 group. But so again, we've still see the need those guys, especially the young ones, continue to progress.
What kind of improvement have you seen in Joyner at quarterback this year compared to?
Well, it's really good. Tika's mom was here and sitting there today talking to them, and after practice, and I said, all right, practice 3 of spring last year, practice spring of 3 this year. What do you think? And he says, like you said, it slowed down a lot for me. So, a lot of progress, really command, and there's just some things that you see and some natural things, obviously, that he does anyways. But I think the game continues to slow down. We just got to, just turns and reps. We got to get turns and reps, and we can't get enough. That's the bottom line.
You remain firmly committed to him at quarterback?
Absolutely.
First thing you said to us on Monday was turnover margin. How has that been this?
Well, it's unfortunately we've done a pretty good job on defense. We didn't so much today, but we did a really good job the first 2 days. Not as much with interceptions and team periods, but getting the ball off people, and that's disappointing for us offensively. Again, we always emphasize that it's not like we've started to coach it. I mean, it's something we've always done. But I think when you see R.J. Roderick, J.C. Horn, young players that have some some feel for when to go for a strip, to when to go for a punch out, or go for a tomahawk, go for a hammer, in those situations, and I've seen that on tape a little bit, which is good. And we got to do a better job of protecting it offensively.
Did anyone come out and maybe pop a little more than you kind of expected, or you saw them in pads, or I guess in helmets after the offseason, you said, whoa, wow, that guy?
I don't make any judgments after helmets.
That's fair enough.
I want to see what retention they have and just have them have a great attitude and effort and line up and have some urgency about what they do. We play this game in pads. Mm-hmm. I get nothing from a helmets practice as far as just the physicality of playing the game, and that's what this game's about.
Will, how has Ryan come in and embraced the other parts beside the on-field work this first month?
Oh, really good. Again, I go back to all the mid-year guys, and I said it in our press conference a week ago. All of those guys have been, Maria Hickman calls me and says what model citizens they are as far as the academic group is concerned on campus, the compliments we get from how they handle themselves. And again, that goes a lot, in my opinion, to a mid-year graduates to maturity. It's hard on those guys to, number one, none of you guys and me, we couldn't have done it, to graduate early from high school, and that shows a lot about maturity and handling your business and it says a lot about those young men. But it's been a really smooth transition, in my opinion, for all of those guys.
Considering his family